Hello, Gerry Morand here, and today I wanted to go over with you people's perceptions and how things change when you look at them through a different lens. What brought this up was that today we had a group of friends over, and one of them brought their young daughter with them who's in preschool age. And I was showing her around the house and doing some different things with her. And as we were going through and looking for something, she had said, "Well, why don't we go look in your sister's room for it?" And it's funny because it's actually my daughter's room and not my sister's room. So I thought that was quite funny that she would think of me as my daughter's brother. Now, let's go back in time about 20 years ago when I first met my wife. She was a teacher in a grade school, and she taught grade 1 to age children. And we were out walking one night, and one of her students saw us together. And so the next day, when she got to school, he came up to her and said, "Oh, I saw you walking last night with your grandfather." Now, you can judge for yourself whether you think I look that much younger now than I might have 20 years ago, but obviously I don't. So how did I go from being my wife's grandfather to being my daughter's brother in these children's eyes? Well, you have to look at how their perception was filtered through their lives. So the person who 20 years ago saw me with my wife lived in a multi-generational home where there was grandparents and his parents and his siblings were all in the same home. So to him, older people were grandparents because his parents looked so much younger than his grandparents. So he just naturally assumed that when he saw his teacher, who he assumed was probably younger because she's in the classroom with him, that she was with a grown-up, that it had to be a grandparent. And today, when I was with that young girl, she had been being taken care of by all the teenage girls. They were showing her around, but when the teenage girls were taking a break to have their bit of food and sit around and chat together, I kind of took over a bit and was showing this young girl around the house and keeping her occupied and out of trouble. And so she just associated me with the teenagers because they were the ones that were taking care of her. So as you see, perception is clouded by your environment and how things are passing by in your life. Now, with children, it's a little easier and a little more clear cut. But as we become adults, our perceptions are still clouded by what may have passed and happened to us in earlier years. So let's take, for example, someone who says it's difficult to do a video like this. Well, it's not that difficult. You just sit here and you talk to your computer. So it's not that hard. So why would someone think that it's difficult? Has this person even tried it? They may not have tried it. And it may be something that happened to them in the past. Maybe they were called upon to do something in front of people or in front of a camera when they were younger. And you know how cruel children can be, so they may have made a mistake or done something slightly wrong and got laughed at and felt humiliated by that. So now they're carrying around this perception that doing this is hard because it was difficult for them to do before. So now, and also there could be other people out there who are saying that they know that it's difficult without actually being personally involved with doing it themselves. So you have to take all these filters off when you're thinking about what it is you have to do, whether it's doing a video or writing or anything else that you might have to do along with your home-based business to make it successful. And get rid of those misperceptions, let's say, where people say that something's hard or that you can't do it. Don't believe it, just try and figure out why it's hard. What makes you think it's hard? And if you can't come up with any real viable answers, or if you do come up with some answers, see what it is that you might have to do to overcome those difficulties so that you can get around them and actually get around it and do what you need to do to get this done. And you'll find in the end that all those things that you thought weren't possible were incorrect. You did have some misperceptions about them and that they weren't really that hard. And after doing some videos or some writing, after a while, after a couple of weeks of doing them, you'll look back and you'll wonder why you thought they were even hard in the first place. So keep that in mind. If there's something that's holding you back, that it's just some misperception about why it's difficult, and try to ask yourself those questions. Why do you think it's hard? Why do you think it's not going to be something you can do? And hopefully that'll allow you to get over it and follow through with doing it, and then achieve your goals and start living the life of your dreams. Thanks for listening, and again, if you liked this, please leave some comments, like and share it as you see fit, and come back and watch my next video. Thanks. Bye.